to River Talk. It's a TV show hosted by a couple of radio guys.
Old radio guys. One old radio guy. Yeah, right.
I'm like middle-aged radio guy.
Well, that's right.
I haven't hit old yet. No one's using legendary in front of my name yet, so I think we're fine. You know, when I was a boy, I grew up listening. I got an AM radio, and so I listened to Dick Biondi growing up on a farm in North Carolina. I listened when he was at WLS.
Right. Well, I did too, and got in trouble for it.
Top.
I used to get in trouble for it. I would do my homework, and I would stick the little transistor radio under my pillow. My mother would come in, Jap slapped me a few times, and say, "Look, pal, you got to go to bed tonight. You got school tomorrow." But I got to listen to Dick Biondi.
Yeah.
And Dick Biondi, of course, what was so cool about this the situation was the fact that little did I ever know in my future I would actually be working against Dick Biondi as a competitor in radio.
And you got to be friends with him, too.
Yeah, he was my buddy. We did a lot of charitable stuff together. And on the phone with us this morning, we've got Pam Pulice, and Pam has got something really cool going on. It's the Dick Biondi film. It's a documentary. And Pam, darling, you've got to tell us about this because he's got a lot of fans down here, darling. I'll tell you that.
Well, good morning, Deacon, and good morning, Banana Jack, and thanks for having me on. This is going to be a blast.
It is going to be fun, yeah.
So, I was one of those kids that also listened to Dick. When I was 13 years old, in 1960, I was growing up in the suburbs of Chicago, and we were, it was like a desert when it came to rock and roll in Chicago at that time. And I was listening to the radio. It was called the Prairie Farmer Station.
Oh,
We
yeah.
We had the Farm Report, and all this crazy stuff, and I was listening to it. I mean, what else is there to listen to, right? So I turned on the radio one day in 1960, and I'm hearing rock and roll. I'm like, oh, my gosh. And then I hear this cool disc jockey, and he says, well, make sure you tune in at 9 o'clock tonight because we got the Wild-Eyed Trailing, Dick Biondi. Oh, my goodness, who's the Wild-Eyed Trailing, I'm thinking. So I tune it in, and I'm, like, in love. I mean, this guy was like nobody we ever heard. He was like a breath of fresh air for all of us teenagers. And he was playing the greatest hits and being the biggest nut. And we just all fell madly in love with him. And I had the pleasure of meeting him at a shopping center a year later in 61. And I couldn't get over what a nice person he was. I thought, this guy's going to have an ego, right? No, this man was so humble and so nice. And he's asking about all of us. My sister was there with her girlfriend, and I was there with my best friend. And he was asking about us, and we were just like, wow, this guy's really nice. And that was the beginning of meeting Dick and getting to know a really, truly nice man, a very kind person. And I was drawn to that, and I started a fan club for him. And that's how I got to know Dick. And I've known him my whole life, and I've always wanted to tell his story because I always felt that people really didn't understand the magnitude of his career. Most people think he's just a local guy.
Oh,
and
yeah.
He's not. He's a national presence. So we're calling our film The Voice That Rocked America, the Dick Biondi story.
That's going to be...
And it's going to be on PBS when it's complete.
Yeah. That's going to be fantastic. I can't wait. I know you got a lot of big names that are going to be in this film. Of course, all his buddies. I mean, here's a guy who not only got to introduce the Beatles, but actually played the Beatles' first record in America.
Really?
Yeah.
That's right.
Is that crazy or what?
That's great.
Yeah. I think wasn't that when he was in L.A.?
No, that was when he was in Chicago.
Oh, he
WLS.
was. Okay, it's WLS in Chicago. Yeah, man. Yeah, I love it.
Oh, yeah.
Now you've got some big players on there. Lee Lofton.
We've got Frankie Valli.
Yeah.
We've got Al Jardine and Brian Wilson from the Beach Boys. We've got Frankie Avalon, Bobby Rydell, all the Chicago bands, all the Chicago garage bands like Jim Peterick and the Ides of March, and the Shadows of Night, and New Colony 6, and the Crying Shames, and the band Chicago. We've got all these guys in the film talking about what Dick did for their careers.
Oh, yeah.
It's amazing. Oh, and we've got Paul Schaefer from the David Letterman show. He's a huge Biondi fan. Can you believe that? He used to listen to him when he was up in Canada. when he was just coming up, and he would tune in Dick, and he would learn to play the music that Dick was talking about. He said it was very influential on his career.
Oh, he's affected many lives
Yeah.
and you know, helped many an entertainer, especially in the rock and roll genre. But I'm going to tell you something. He came to Myrtle Beach North Myrtle Beach, actually, and spent 10 years here. And I remember I had already been here, but I had gone, I think I was in Chicago back in the mid-'70s when he decided to come to Myrtle Beach. We kind of did a switcheroo. I wasn't on the radio up there. I was traveling with Tom Duty and the Crying Shames. And
I'll be darned.
Isn't that crazy? And well, that's you know,
crazy.
and I went back after 40 years. That's how I met you, remember, Pam? When
Yeah.
I went up to the Arcata Theater up in St. Charles because Dick Biondi was going to MC the show, and all the groups, the Buckinghams, Jimmy Sons, the Shadows of Night, and of course Jim Peterick and the Ides and all these guys, which I'd brought Peterick down to Myrtle Beach in a club atmosphere one time several years ago. And it was really cool to go up there after 40 years and then it was just an incredible evening up there to see all these old cronies of mine. And then Pam, what's the girl, Spizzeri? Was that her name?
Phyllis, Phyllis Spizzeri.
That's right. She stopped me walking back up the aisle and talked to me. And I said, "Man, who is this?" You know, I didn't. Nobody. Who do I know in Chicago except all the people on that stage? And that's pretty much how we got introduced. Really.
Yeah, that's right. And I'm thankful for it, Deacon, because you turned out to be a really good friend of the Dick Biondi Project and me. And you've been very helpful, and you're actually in the film too.
I know. Hey, I'm a major star. You see, that film is actually, that film will be based on my life story, except we're going to throw Biondi in there a little bit, you know. Well, that's going to be a lot of fun because, you know, the deal is down here at WNMB where he played. He, like I say, he came down really on like a hiatus to get out of Chicago to play golf, he told me. And
That's right.
He didn't even plan to go back to radio. He's just going to play golf. But then he couldn't stand it, so he comes down. He meets the station manager at WNMB, said he maybe do a little bit of part-time work. And so he goes in there, and the station manager didn't even have an iota idea who this guy was.
Wow.
Yeah, and the secretary says, "Do you know who this is? That's Dick Biondi." And he said, "So who's Dick Biondi?"
Jeez.
Yeah.
That's
A
crazy.
true radio man, right?
Oh, it was insanity. I couldn't believe it. But anyway, I had and then I got in radio actually in '77, so I had the opportunity to do mornings and up against Dick. Dick and I did a lot of stuff together, and that's how we became excellent friends. And but let's talk more about this great movie coming out. And you know, you're taking money, right? You need some donations.
We sure do.
Yeah.
We've been working on this film. I personally have been working on this film since March of 2014.
Whoa.
And if I would have had the funding, I could have had it done. And, you know, Dick is 88 years old. He just turned 88 last Sunday. Not this last Sunday, but September 13th. And we had a big Dick Biondi Day for him, which people can actually watch if you're interested. It's 4 hours of entertainment and birthday wishes from all of these guys that love Biondi. Dion and Frankie Avalon and Joe Mantegna, the actor, all kinds of people sending their love to Dick and thanking him for what they did for him and for all of music. And that's all on our YouTube channel. And it's called The Dick Biondi Film YouTube channel. You can watch all 4 hours on there. Plus, there's all kinds of stuff on there. So I hope everybody listening will subscribe to the channel because
Sure.
we're putting up new videos all the time. But yeah, we're trying to raise money. It's an ongoing process. You know, I don't think a lot of people understand that documentary film is a very expensive and complicated proposition. You know, it's not like a video. I mean, you have a lot of broadcast requirements. You have a lot of legal things that you have to deal with, especially licensing. That's extremely expensive.
Yeah.
So that's where we're at. Luckily, we've been working on it for 6.5 years, and we are now at the point where we've got everything shot for the film, and we've edited the story. It's all laid out on the timeline, and we've got chapter 1, which it's complete, and there's 3 chapters. And chapter 2 and 3, we still need to get our pictures and our footage and our music and stuff. But we haven't paid for any of it yet. We've just dropped it in there temporarily, like placeholders. So it's a big process, and so that's what we're trying to raise money for right now, is to finish the film, and hopefully before Dick, so Dick can see it.
Oh yeah, yeah. Well, as a matter of fact, we got to mention your one of your partners in this, Joe Farina, which is the late actor Dennis Farina's son.
Okay.
That's right.
That to me was pretty impressive that he would jump aboard.
Joe Farina, I met Joe again through Phyllis Missouri. We went to see Dennis Trufano at a concert, and I was introduced to Joe, and Joe heard about the project, and he was immediately taken with it because he's a huge Biondi fan. He grew up with him on WJMK Oldie Station in Chicago.
Oh, yeah. AMR. The AMR. Yeah.
Yeah, and then Joe is also a huge 60s music fan. So it was kind of a marriage made in heaven, and he just jumped on board and started helping me. He's my director of communications and marketing, and what a guy. This guy is he's always there when I need a sounding board. He's always coming up with ideas. He and I hosted the show on Sunday for Dick, the Dick Biondi Day show. We also do another show called The Rock and Roll Show with Pam Joe that we do every weekend. We interview all these musicians and DJs, people in the music business, and it's a lot of fun, I'll tell you.
Well, Pam, give the folks your address, like internet and whatever, how they could get in touch with you.
How can we give you some money?
Right.
Oh, please.
Yeah.
Oh, I would love it. Any donation is appreciated, let me tell you. And it's tax deductible through our fiscal sponsor, Chicago Filmmakers. And you can do that on our website. It's dickbiondifilm.com. And there's a big donate button right on the homepage. There's also our trailer on the homepage. And all of our links to our social media is on there. We're on Facebook, we're on Twitter, we're on YouTube. And we also have a private club that you can join on Dick Biondi on Facebook. And it's a private place where you can actually upload pictures of Dick or memories of Dick, and there's all kinds of fascinating stories on there, and people just sharing their love and their great memories of Biondi. And that was a time when radio was it played such a big role in our lives. And I have actually tried to recapture that, what it was like growing up with Dick Biondi on the radio.
Right.
And we actually did some scenes at the local Superdog Drive-In. We had all these teenagers come out with classic cars, and it was fantastic.
Very cool.
Well, he had a force of fans here in Myrtle Beach and North Myrtle Beach, of course, too. And I'm sure they're going to be very interested in, playing a part in this. But we appreciate you talking. We'll get back with you on this. I want to stay in touch with you on this.
Pam,
okay?
thank you so much for your time today. In fact, we're going to take a look at that trailer right now. Dick Biondi, enjoy this as River Talk rolls on.
This is the guy where all this rock and roll was born in the CFL days and the WLS AM days. He's been in the business a long time, and he's proud to say he's been fired 25 times. A Chicago legend. Put your hands together for the one and only Dick Biondi.
This is Wildlife Australian Dick Biondi. Roses are red, violets are blue. If I don't read a commercial, the boss says I'm through.
Who is that? Is he on something?
He was an early rebel.
How many guys do you know that have been fired 25 times from any job?
On top of a pizza.
People would send him pizzas in the mail.
He was there for everybody. Elvis, the Beatles.
Dick Biondi was the first guy to play a Beatle record in America.
He was in the recording studio when the Stones did Satisfaction.
He would break all of our records.
Back in the 60s, there'd be 1,000 kids waiting to meet Dick Biondi.
He's amazing. Amazing that he's still on the air, still doing what he's doing.
Let's have 3 hours of rockin' and rollin'.
Dick Biondi, the American rock and roll disc jockey.
Hi, everybody. I'm Dick Biondi. I'm sure you guys are having a lot of fun.
In the early 60s, like most teens, I had my radio glued to my ear, listening to rock and roll, teen news, and my favorite disc jockey, Dick Biondi. Dick was more than a DJ. He was our friend.
I've always wanted to tell Dick's story and the impact he had on the music and the people of my generation.
Because for me, and for millions of baby boomers growing up in the 50s, 60s, and 70s, Dick Biondi was the voice in our cars, the voice under our pillows, and the voice that rocked America.